One of the latest developments in lens technology is something called stabilization. In fact, Tamron calls it vibration compensation. The names are different, but the idea is the same. The way that vibration compensation works is like this. There's an element inside the lens that's surrounded by several different gyros. When you move, it senses the movement and moves in the opposite direction. So it stabilizes the image from your movement, which prevents blur. Tamron's proprietary technology uses 3 points to triangulate and give you the most effective stabilization. This technology allows you to be able to hand-hold an image at 4 stops slower than previously possible. Stabilization is great. It can prevent blur from camera movement. However, it can't stop action any better. But if you're doing a long exposure on the tripod, it's recommended that you shut it off. If you have a Sony or Pentax, the stabilization is built into the body. But if you have a Canon or Nikon, the stabilization has to be built into the lens. But see, this bee's really pissed now.
Jeff. No, you got it, you're right.
If I get stung for this white balance, I'm going to get really pissed. Each different light source has a different color temperature. So the color of light coming from the sun is different than the color of light coming off of an incandescent bulb, or even the color of light on a cloudy day. To compensate for this, your camera has something called white balance. The default setting of your white balance is what's called auto. In auto, the camera automatically analyzes the scene and tries to make the whites as neutral as possible. In addition to auto, your camera has white balance presets. In case you're wondering what these presets look like, I took the same picture using cloudy, shady, tungsten, daylight, fluorescent, and custom. Getting your white balance correct is especially important if you're a JPEG shooter. This is because you don't have as many options to change it later as if you're shooting RAW.
Nighttime photography is all about patience, and if you can stay awake, you can get some outstanding images. When I go on a night shoot, I bring 4 important things: my camera, a good wide-angle lens, a tripod, and a cable release. I use a tripod because any little shake in night photography will cause a blurry image. A cable release is used for the same reason as a tripod. Because there's such long exposures in some of the images I took tonight, 15-20 seconds long, any little shake will cause it to be blurry. In night photography, I never use autofocus. I only use manual focus. The reason is because it's too dark for the camera to pinpoint a subject to focus on. You may ask, how can I focus in the dark if my camera can't? Well, there's 2 ways I do this. I look at the focusing ring on my lens and guesstimate the distance between the camera and the subject. Secondly, I may use a flashlight to illuminate my subject, allowing me to see through my viewfinder and correctly adjust my focus. The reason why I really like this photograph is because I knew with a long exposure, the water would become nice and soft and flowing, but the dock would remain perfectly sharp. There was enough light created by the moon and the glistening water to allow me to focus at the end of the dock. In this second image, I was lucky enough to have a colorful boat tied up against the dock. Because of the rise and fall of the water, it helped create a moody and ghost-like image. You know what? I'm tired, and I'm going to bed.